Shalom, Israel. Okay, I'm going to finish or continue where I left off at before in Luke, the first chapter, the 23rd verse. I'm going to read that again. And it came to pass that as soon as the days of his ministration were accomplished, he departed into his own house. So again, um, understanding how this priest's office ran. Okay, the first month, okay, is the month of March. We had three priests ruling this service in office here. Okay, and then we have the 10th week. The 10th week brings us to the month of Sivan. That's very, very important. And after Zacharias' office was accomplished, he went home to his wife. I'm going to read it. And it came to pass that as soon as the days of his ministration were accomplished, he departed to his own house. That's going to be very, very important for us to understand, again, what time this is. In the time that this is, it is it's the 10th week. He's of the 8th course, but this is the 10th week of the month. The 10th week of the month brings us to the month of Sivan. All right, that's very important for us to understand. 24. And after those days, his wife Elizabeth conceived and hid herself 5 months. Again, this is going to be basic, simple arithmetic. After Zacharias' office was finished in the 10th week, he now goes home to his wife. And this is all estimation here. Now, we're not giving approximate dates here. Okay, now, but we're still dealing with the month of Sivan, May. Zacharias goes home, okay, and has sex with his wife, and his wife conceives. This now brings us around the latter part of May, the beginning of June. Verse 24 says that she hid herself 5 months. Why did Elizabeth hide herself for 5 months? She didn't hide herself, not in a literal sense of hiding. It's just that she refrained herself from doing any type of strenuous work, okay, because she was well stricken in age and she didn't want to lose the baby. Okay, so she wasn't intermingling and doing a whole lot of going out and things like that. She stayed in seclusion because she understood that she was in old age and she didn't want to jeopardize the baby. Now, but it also makes mention now, which is very important now, that we can't forget that it makes mention that she did this for 5 months. So if we was to count now from June, okay, like the last week of June, and we used to count 5 months, we would have June, July, August, September, October, November. I have my own calendar here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this puts us in the month of Shesvan, or October. Okay, about the last week in October. So again, this is going to be very, very important. Okay, now what I want to do, okay, what I want to do here now is to go to Luke, the 24th chapter. I'm going to read Luke 24:27. And after those days, his wife Elizabeth conceived and hid herself again, like I said, 5 months, saying, Thus hath the Lord dealt with me in those days wherein he looked on me to take away my reproach among men. And in the 6th month, so we talk about the month of October, the next month would be November. That month is called the month of Keslu. Verse 26 again. Excuse me, 20. Where are we at here? Verse 25. Thus saith the Lord. Thus hath the Lord dealt with me in the days wherein he looked on me to take away my reproach from among men. And in the 6th month, again, the 6th month is November, the angel Gabriel was sent from the Most High into a city of Galilee named Nazareth. That's going to be very, very important for us to understand, okay? Now, we're going to go to verse 27. Now, this angel Gabriel now, he goes to a virgin promised to a man whose name was Joseph, of the house of David, and the virgin's name was Mary. So we now have this angel visiting Mary in Elizabeth's 6th month. Okay, now I want to go to verse 34, and I'm going to read down to 41. Now, what you can do now is read all of Luke, the first chapter, okay? Because what I'm doing now, I'm just, because of time constraint, what I'm doing now is only bringing out the key factors here. But remember, simple arithmetic is going to be needed in order for us to get to understanding when John the Baptist was born and when the Messiah was born. And just remember now, as of now, so far, we're in the month of November. Now, verse 34. Then said Miriam, it says Mary, but again, her Hebrew name was Miriam. Then said Miriam unto the angel, how shall this be, seeing I know not a man? And the angel answered and said unto her, the Holy Spirit shall come upon thee. Okay, the Holy Spirit shall come upon thee. Therefore also that holy thing which shall be born of thee shall be called the Son of the Father. And that was Yeshua. And behold, thy cousin Elizabeth, she hath also conceived a son in her old age, and this is the 6th month with her who was called barren. And so now Gabriel is telling Mary, listen, you know what? Even Elizabeth, okay, has conceived, and this is now her 6th month. Verse 37, for with the Most High no thing shall be impossible. And Mary said, behold, the handmaiden of the Messiah, be it unto me according to thy word. And the angel departed from her. Verse 39, let me read down to 41. And Mary arose in those days and went into the hill country with haste into a city of Judea, and entered into the house of Zacharias and saluted Elizabeth. And it came to pass that when Elizabeth heard the salutation of Mary, the baby leaped in her womb, and Elizabeth was filled with the Holy Spirit, which is very important now because, again, verse 36 now it says, and behold, thy cousin Elizabeth, your cousin, she has also conceived a son in her old age, and this is the 6th month with her who was called barren. Now let's go to Luke, the first chapter, 56, 57. And Mary abode with her about 3 months. So now 3 months from November, the end of November, will bring us to now December, January, late now February. Okay, late February. Because it's 3 months from adding 6 and 3 is 9. And women usually go to the full term of 9 and sometimes even 10 weeks. 10 months. All right. And Mary abode with her about 3 months and returned to her own house. Why did Mary return to her own house? Is because now we have a festival coming. And this festival is Passover. All right. Everything is going into sequence. All right. And it's very important, again, that we understand the Messiah's time book. We are supposed to know the Messiah's time. These days and these things is not supposed to overcome us as a thief in the night, because we have to come back into our nationality, our history, and our culture. These things are very, very important in helping us to understand what's going on here in the scriptures. Now, okay, what I want to do is get this understanding now. Okay, so right now we have the fact now is that it's around Passover that John the Baptist is born. And remember now, John the Baptist is 6 months older than the Messiah. So if you was to count 6 months, okay, from March, that will bring you to the month of September, which is the month of Ethanim. Okay, it's the 7th Sabbath month. In the month of Ethanim, we have the blowing of the trumpets, we have the Day of Atonement, and we have the Feast of Tabernacles. Okay, that's going to be very, very important in helping us to understand the scriptures here. Now, what I want to do is to let's see here. Let's go to let's go to John 8 and 12. The reason why those of us that's understanding scriptures is that the Messiah was born during the time of the Feast of Tabernacle. Let's go to John 8 and 12. John 8 and 12. Yeah, John 8 and 12. Okay, this is right. Yeah, John 8 and 12. Then spoke the Messiah again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. What does that mean? The light of the world. The Messiah was conceived, okay, around the time of Hanukkah. And that's very important for us to understand, because remember now, Elizabeth now was now 6 months pregnant during the time, which is like November, December. And the Messiah was conceived, okay, in Elizabeth in the 6th month of Elizabeth's pregnancy. All right? I want to make sure that, that we all on the same page here. Again, we have here in verse 12, then spoke the Messiah again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. We're talking about Hanukkah here. All right? And so this light came into the world, okay, during the time of Hanukkah. And Hanukkah happens between November, late December. Okay? And during this time, okay, Elizabeth was already 6 months pregnant. Mary was only 1 month pregnant during this time. The Messiah is the light of the world. Okay? I'm going to read it again. Saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. So now we have the introducing, okay, during this time here of the Messiah, announcing that I am now the light of the world. Okay, that's going to be very important in helping us again to understand this whole thing here. And again, it was around the time of Hanukkah that Mary was pregnant. Okay, the 6th month of Elizabeth's pregnancy, Mary was pregnant. And 3 months later brings us around the time, okay, of Passover, which now going to make which now makes Mary 3 months pregnant. Okay, and 6 months later, whether it was 6 months later, we have Mary conceiving, okay, the Messiah, or bringing forth the Messiah, which brings us to the 7th month, which is called the month of Ethanim. All right. Now let's go to just a few more scriptures here. Let's go to 2nd Maccabees. I'm gonna read which is in the Apocrypha. 2nd Maccabees. 2nd Maccabees. I'm gonna read the 1st chapter, 7 to 9. Try to squeeze this in right quick before I run out of time. 7. First chapter, 7 to 9. 2nd Maccabees. 7 to 9. What time as Demetrius reigned in the 190th year, we, the Jews, wrote unto you in the extremity of trouble that came upon us in those years, from the time that Jason and his company revolted from the Holy Land and kingdom, and burnt the porch and shed innocent blood. Then we prayed until the Messiah and was heard. We offered also sacrifices and fine flour, and lighted the lamps, and set forth the loaves. And now see that you keep the feast of tabernacles in the month of Keslu. The month of Keslu is also called Keslu. All right, so I just wanted to bring out the importance of the light of the world, the Messiah being the light of the world, Mary conceiving around the time of the light of the world, Hanukkah. All these things are going to be very important in helping us again to understand the scriptures. All right, and what I'm going to have to do, okay, I'm going to have to stop there, and I'm going to continue on in the next segment of the Messiah was born in the 7th month. Shalom.